perspective on the part of the city of New York in terms of their willingness to promote their properties for outdoor recreational opportunities. And we're trying to stay with that current, so to speak. We don't want to push them out too fast because we've seen some great progress, and we don't want to jeopardize that. So we're going slow with the city. But we've already commented on that with the city. A couple of us have had discussions with them, and they've already expressed a willingness to be consistent with our program for the forest preserve on the city-owned opportunities.
Yay.
Yeah. And Diane.
Two questions. You've been talking about wayfaring signs as relates to recreational opportunities,
Right.
outdoor opportunities. What about cultural opportunities? For instance, I'm just thinking about on 28, the Shandaken Museum. How do people, is that something that they have to do for themselves and get permission to?
Museums should write a letter to the Department of Transportation in their area and address their museum with cultural significance. I will tell you what I do know about that is that museums usually have to be on the state register of museums, which is done in Albany through Department of Education. And if you get on that list, then you can ask for a specific kind of sign. And there's a example of those signs in here.
I would say it's the phase 2 stuff there too, because we're going to need to put that in the guidance, because there's municipality things that are important too, and how do we get people to those things and what signs.
Right.
We're not there. That's why I said we need someone deep. We've got to get to the phase 2.
I think you raise a good point that we should make, though, is we're not going to propose signage for an opportunity unless the manager of that facility agrees that that's an appropriate thing to direct the public to.
Yeah.
So right now, you know, for me, I'm only promoting DEC opportunities because that's what I manage.
Right. And I don't promote anything other than I'm managing the color, the standards, and the things.
Well, that was my question. Whether it's considered, whether those kind of facilities are considered a wayfaring sign or a TOD
that's
sign.
That's where the MUTCD and the state supplement define different types of situations.
Because I did read the guidance because I'm working on it for 2 organizations, and,
right.
and I've read it to mean that a historic site that's an attraction is actually an official sign because it might have that little thing.
That's a state historic site or a historic site which can get into national significance or sometimes local significance, but it's already listed usually in the organization, okay? If it's not, then they have to go through a process to get it on there to warrant that kind of sign. It's unique to itself. It's a official sign. What I'm saying, more defined than what I do, it's an MUTCD official sign. And it has parameters that are different than TODs, than logos, than SIG byways. There's very specifics in each area, and that's what the state supplement, which is also online, gets into all the specifics. But this handout talks about the different topics. So when you discuss a sign, you want to use these type of definitions because they're very specific for a certain purpose.
And I have a long-term goal too. We want to make this simple for users and not get into all of our jargon. So Bill presented something with a town that wants to do a park area that isn't on our land, and I'm going to find out the answer, not have to have somebody figure out what the sign and what the, we'll figure that out. And that's to help promote, again, the branding here.
And it's to use the national standard for that because it just ties everything together.
I just have another real quick question. When you provide, for instance, the sign to Rochester Hollow or the sign at Big Indian that's going to point to Slide Mountain,
Right.
You're not going to have signs, obviously, all the way to the Slide Mountain. You're going to have a mileage so that people know how they're going to have to drive 12 miles to the Slide Mountain.
That's a great point, and Mark has been working with this. We are going to provide additional signage on the secondary road system, and that's where we're going to work with town and county highway departments to get that follow-up signage to get them all the way to the parking lot.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
And what I want to say is, one of our directives from Ed's boss and my boss, I'm several layers down, is that We wanted to do it quick, concise, uniform, and minimalized. So when you say you turn off a state facility onto a town road, as long as there's no other turns to get to that facility that you're going to, you're only going to see one set of signs on the state highway and one set of signs at the driveway for the facility
That's my
itself.
question. So at the
Yes.
state highway, you would say 12 miles, so people
No, you're just going to get an arrow.
How do people know if they're gonna drive 2 miles or 20?
Because I think long-term, you're going to see maps and things that indicate. See, I understand your point, and this is what I do. I've done for 20 years. I try to do as much as I can on a sign, but when you start to add mileage, and you add other details other than symbols and stuff, signs get huge. Nobody wants that. Maintenance people like Tom and the highway superintendents want them as small because they're easy to maintain. Now, my understanding with Bill is, I don't believe, and I can't, you could take me down if I say this, I bet you there's no venue off of a state facility that's more than 10 miles, okay?
We're not
So
directing people from that.
when you're less than 10 miles, you wouldn't get a mileage. You won't.
But if you're gonna put something at Big Indian that says Slide Mountain, that's more than 10 miles.
That might be the exception.
Yeah.
That might be the
beginning
exception.
one is somewhat unique. Most of them are much closer to the primary highway, and I'll have to retrace
Right.
what we proposed.
And there's
we
a
did
possibility
for
for a
several,
unique
right.
case that's extremely long. Part of the thing, and I won't bore you, but if you get into multiple intersections of towns and county roads, you could get lost. But if there's no other towns and county roads except driveways to houses, how are you going to get lost? You aren't.
But I understand your point.
I understand your
Well,
point.
there's
Yeah.
more than one, which is, there's Giant Ledge, and then there's Slide
Well,
Mountain.
that one, we've already discussed what you're, I think what you're going to see is you're going to see this symbol. You're going to see a whole bunch of name signs because all of the opportunity is the same on that road, just different sites. So you're going to see name, iconic sign, arrow. As you go down the road, when you pass one, you lose that name, and then it'll be an arrow continuing on.
Suppose that there wouldn't be any more.
Well, that's a specific one. That one, Bill and I had a tremendous amount of time to discuss. It gets into the details, and if we had, probably that would have been the best one to have up physically out there, but we hadn't reached that point. It's cart before the horse. But yes, that's an exception. But we had to minimize things, and mileage just really, in these type of signs, you can't have mileage. With Mr. Silverman's thing, it says right in the manual, 5 miles. So there's no mileage needed because it's just from the standard, you know it's within 5 miles. If it's outside of 5 miles, you don't know where it is. You better have a map or GPS to find it because we aren't going to sign for
I
it.
guess I'm just thinking about the Adirondacks where they actually do that.
Well,
We don't-
no,
we
they
don't
don't. Not
You don't
not
have
what.
4 miles like you
No, no.
Not for what we're talking about.
Most of the stuff is on site or along the corridor.
Yeah, in fact,
We don't have any
we're breaking
signs
new
directed
ground.
like
That's because I'm the same guy in the Adirondack Park as the
Yeah.
Catskill Park, and they don't have this standard either. We're instituting a lot of the same elements other than this in the Adirondack Park because they didn't have this type of hierarchy of sign.
Interesting, we're a little bit further ahead here, but what your point is, I've raised this too, and it's a concern, but I gotta go back to, we had all the expertise and we'll come up with a solution, but this is gonna be an open, and the public will get to see this guidance, but those certain situations, we're gonna have to take a harder look at. I have the same concern, how do you, if I'm driving, I'm able to have set it 11 miles down the road, I still haven't hit the parking lot, I'm thinking, did I
Right.
miss it straight?
Right.
So
And that's a
that's in one
consideration.
thought.
That is a
Absolutely.
consideration.
Thank you.
Yes.
Have you looked at the signage they have on the cannons, as it were, for the boating and things? Does it fit in with your scheme?
The Cairnsville is not part of this effort. That's way outside the Catskill Park, and it's not on the scenic byway.
But I was thinking of the fact that if you were going to have signs on the Pacton,
Yes.
that they should relate to the signs on the Cannonsville.
Well,
We don't know that they're going to open the Papacton to recreational boating.